Welcome and good evening in Nigeria, good afternoon in US, and good evening, good afternoon, good night in all the other parts of the world that you might be viewing this. This is a very pivotal event in my life and in the life of the many people who are involved in it. The project today is a pre-launch discussion and information for the pre-launch of Remembering Operation Python Dance 2. Many of us are aware of this incident, especially those who live in Nigeria. We were all aware of the time that it became necessary for the Nigerian government in their own reckoning to launch Operation Python Dance in the Southeast. And the people in the Southeast are also aware of the situations that were happening, the campaign for the actualization of a sovereign state of Biafra, reigniting from the Nigerian Civil War of 1967 to 1970. We are also all aware of the situation that brought all of this to be. Now, the Operation Python Dance was a very serious event in the annals of history, both the history of Nigeria and the history of the Igbo people in Nigeria. So for today, we will begin with a little housekeeping items. This is our agenda. We'll walk through some housekeeping items, and then I'll make an introductory remark, and then extend invitations to volunteers and those who have skills to introduce themselves to be able to take care of the project we're involved in. And then after that, when I make a closing remark, we will have question and answer. I want you to know that the questions and the answers that you might put forward in this program is very critical. That is the way to go. Your questions are the best. And I'm usually at my best in everything with questions. So please get those questions coming, and do not be nice in your comments and questions. Just ask them. So long as they are something relevant to you, so long as they are true, bring them forward. Ask them. Do not mince words, and do not be nice to me. Don't pretend. Put it out the way it is. Because actually, that is exactly the same thing I have done in this book that we are planning and hope to formally launch in September. The proposed date for that is 25th September 2025. We will bring more detailed information on that a little while later. Okay. Let's move forward. And the next thing we want to put out in the housekeeping item is that we are looking forward for volunteers and people with skill that we can engage in the project that we have in our hands concerning Remembering Operation Python Dance and 9 other books that are connected to the same program and to the same idea, which we will roll out on our launch day and throughout this year. This year is the year of having all these books out. It would be nice if you know and note that these books have been part of my life. I've been working on them, some of them for 10 years, 12 years. I think some of them were far back, started when I was in service. So most of these books, that's in 2005. So these books are going to debut this year, all of them, because I'm working for all of them left, right, and center and doing everything that I can to get them ready. 2 of them are already live on Amazon right now as we speak. And another 3 will go on Amazon, one by this next week and another one in the next 3 weeks. So, but before September, we want to populate my Amazon account with close to all of the 10 books. And if they don't all happen at that time, before it is December 2025, all of them will be on Amazon. Now, I know that Nigeria has some challenges with having Amazon deliver things there. When I wrote my first batch of books in 2014 and 2016, I was able to have author's copy delivered to me in Lagos. I was living in Lagos at that time in Nigeria, but now I've been making inquiries. I understand it is not possible. To take care of that, we have planned to get printers in Nigeria to sign an agreement with them on print on demand, which we are going to use in making sure that as soon as somebody purchases the book on our website in Nigeria, they will be able to have those books delivered to them in their houses. So that is about the housekeeping item for now. As we go along and remember one or more things that we should be talking about, we'll bring them forward. So that's about that. Now, one of the key questions that I've been asked by some people since I started talking about this book and discussing it with them before it was live on Amazon and fully published was, why this book? Why are you writing this? In fact, the editors, the publishing company, they all asked me the same question too. So I have received a lot of that question, and we would like to say a few things about them right now in this pre-launch program. Some stories refuse to die quietly. We know that, many things that happen. Let's take, for example, how many years ago was the World War II? Let me say, or even World War I, World War II. All of them are still being discussed today. And certain things about World War that were not done is making people feel afraid that there might even be a third World War. Let's consider that and hold on to that. So why this book? Operation Python Dance 2 in particular is a story that cannot die quietly. It has refused to die. Even if you wanted to die, the Nigerian establishment is not helping any matters there with all the direct torchlight, as Nigerians will call it, on IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu, his rendition or kidnap. To me, that is a kidnap from Kenya and back to Nigeria for a trial that he has won many cases against. Those are the things. It looks like it's making people forget all that happened in Operation Python Dance 2. And this is a story that cannot die. Even if he wants to die, Nigerian government is likely not going to allow it to die. So this is one of them. And again, this book is a tribute, as we call it in Nigeria, to the fallen. One of the things that are evident and quite well witnessed by international organizations, including Amnesty International and the Human Rights Watch, was that people were killed. And newspapers in Nigeria, of course, Nigerian journalists, I must give them a little thumbs up there because they didn't sleep all through that period. They published stories, they showed pictures. They showed pictures of people, commanded under gunpoint by soldiers to fall into algae muddy waters that fill all the expressway in Abia State, the federal roads in Abia State that are not maintained, that cross Abia State. Bus drivers will be stopped, and everybody in that bus, even cars, everybody were asked to lie down in those muddy waters in an orchestrated and unthought of kind of human dehumanization project that nobody has could even imagine before they did it. So this is a tribute to those who have fallen, those who were immersed in that muddy water, made to swim in it and made to immerse themselves fully inside it and drink of it and all of that by force of the gun over their head, just to see if they can help their lives. And then a lot of what has followed since this thing started is silence. Many people's voices are silenced. Many people have been silenced by death because of this. So this is a tribute to them. And it is also a national memory preserved. You know, who was that? Yeah, I think Nnamdi Azikiwe those days we are quoted as saying, please, Nigerians, let's forget our differences so we can live together. And the Reverend Sadauna Sokoto, Sir Ahmad Bello said, no, let us remember our differences. So what I'm trying to emphasize in this one is not to cast any of those two people in any way, but to simply say that if we do not preserve our national memory, if we cannot preserve our memory, we will keep repeating mistakes of the past. And Nigeria has made a lot of those kind of mistakes of the past, all of which were deadly, dangerous, and which led to massive loss of human life, dehumanization, persecution, extrajudicial killing by Nigerian officials. I mean, that is because we keep forgetting these kind of situations in our life, and we cannot continue to do that safely unless we do not wish for a place for our posterity, you know, for our children, for their children, unless we do not want our race to continue to be in existence. If we need and want, then we need to preserve our national memory. Very important. Okay. And a very important question this is, what's the book about? The book is about chronicling the military invasion of Nigeria's Southeast in 2017. Remember, there had been Operation Python Dance 1. I think that was 2016. And there was Operation Python Dance 2, which is the 2017 one, that is the epoch making one. And then there was also another one, the Operation Python Dance 3. And then by the fourth year, it was changed to Operation Peace. You know, but it is still the same thing. Soldiers with boots marched every part of Southeast and every spot of the land, and people were frightened, and people were dehumanized, and people were challenged, and people were killed in every single case. But Operation Python Dance 2, the one that happened in 2017, is the height of it all. So that is why it is important that we remember it. And this book also, apart from chronicling the whole of the military invasion and the other activities, the things they did, the people they killed, and the reactions from both Nigerian and government and international organizations, Igbos and human rights groups and others, it is all chronicled in this book. Then it also connects the operation to a broader struggle to justice and voice. Now, there's a saying by Igbo people. In English, it says, you do not beat a child and also command that same child not to cry. If you beat a child, the child is hurt in two ways. First, the child is hurt physically by your strike. And then the child is also hurt emotionally because beating is a dehumanizing project. So this book is written so we can connect the Operation Python Dance 2 and the others that have followed it to a broader struggle for justice and voice in Nigeria. People are too quiet. People are not talking. Those who start talking, either they get bribed, they keep quiet, or they get killed very quickly, and others will run because the first people have been killed. That is not the way to live. That is not the way to prepare your place and your life for the benefit of your posterity. You must speak. If people have spoken louder and much more loudly when Zakibian was invaded by Nigerian military and many people were murdered and killed, houses were destroyed, villages razed to the ground. If people have spoken loudly from that point forward, probably we will not have Operation Python Dance at all. If people were able to speak loudly enough when OD was reduced into robots, every living human man, every man who can stand and woman who can stand were killed. The rest ran away from their place and the whole community was leveled down. If people have spoken, maybe we would not have Operation Python Dance. When the Baramatu brothers were destroyed, when Kenserowiwa and the other Etogoni men were destroyed for speaking up, if we continue to speak, how many would they really kill? By now, maybe many of the things that are still happening, probably we won't even have banditry in the north. We won't have Boko Haram, ISWAP, Mieti Allah militia, and all of those who are marauding, destroying, and burning down everywhere in the northern part of Nigeria today. We won't have those people if people have spoken. So this book is raised up as a banner upon which the broader struggle for justice and voice can be discussed. And why is this book coming now? Many people have asked this question. And one key thing, whether the book came now or later, there was just one major place in the psychology or psyche of human beings, in the life of human beings, that this book represents and should be honored for. And that is because forgetting is dangerous. And memory, remembering, is resistance. When we keep silent, we serve the oppressor. The oppressive Nigerian regime, the Nigerian military, silence is what keeps them on. As a security professional, one of the things I learned and taught is, if you are attacked by a rapist, the first thing the rapist will want you to do is to keep quiet, and they will show you guns, show you knives, show you bottles or other dangerous implements with which they could harm you. And then they are trying to buy your silence with that. As soon as you keep quiet, what happens? You get raped. You can also get killed if they think the rape will lead to investigations and other problems. So when we keep quiet, we serve the oppressor. Will people die in the first instance because we raise our voices? Of course. And what is happening now that we have kept quiet all these years? Is there any space for peace in Nigeria? Is Boko Haram, ISWAP, Fulani militia, bandits, and herdsmen, are they not killing on every spot in Nigeria today because we kept quiet? What if we are raised our voice in resistance? Remember, memory, if we remember, it is resistance. What if we have a way to remember all the predictions that have been made about what was coming, and then we prepared for them? Could we not have saved ourselves and Nigerians, whether it is even or ourselves personally or other people? We could have had these people saved if we were able to speak. Now, history, we know, is not healed by denial. When you deny there was a World War II or I, it doesn't stop or remove the fact that there was a world war. If you deny that there was a Biafran war, a war during which the southeastern region of Nigeria, then comprised of Igbos and other ethnic nationalities, asked for, seceded actually. And of course, they held on for 30 months in the process. If we say, well, let's deny that there was a civil war in Nigeria, let's deny that there was a program in northern Nigeria in 1966 that led to the civil war in 1967. And that civil war, in my own estimation and conclusion, is not a civil war. That was a genocide, because the people that seceded didn't ask for a war. It is if we declared a war and say we want to fight with you to separate, to be independent, that is when it is a civil war. This is a genocide, because the people simply asked for secession, and then Nigeria, with the backing of the British and Russia and others, landed on the small country that just declared its independence and crushed it. So if we deny that the genocide happened, it doesn't remove history. History stands where it is. There was a genocide. That genocide was orchestrated. First, there was a January 1966 coup in Nigeria, which predominantly Igbo officers were those who carried it out, and they killed a number of people, including prominent politicians from the north, unfortunately. Something they shouldn't have done. If they didn't want to kill every politician, they shouldn't have killed anyone. That is my own position with that. So we can't deny that that happened. And of course, the Fulani carried out their own reprisal coup, a counter coup in July of the same 1966. And as soon as they did that coup, they closed the government, turned their back, and watched Fulani people and Hausas hewn down Igbos that live in northern Nigeria, and including other people of southeastern Nigeria. They were killed in their numbers. Pregnant women among them were disemboweled, and their unborn child was removed and cut to pieces in their presence. Their houses were seized, their goods were looted and burnt. That pogrom happened, and we can't deny it. So if we deny it, the history is still there. But one knowledge is clear. One thing that I have known in my own time in life is that confrontation is what heals history. If you do not confront the situation that begets evil, it will continue to multiply, sometimes have twins and triplets and sextuplets to flood the land with the evil, which is exactly what has happened in Nigeria now. Our keeping quiet all of this period is what gave birth to the bandits, the Fulani herdsmen, the Fulani militia, Boko Haram, ISWAP, even the new one they say had just come up. That's what gave birth to them, because we were told to keep quiet. It was discussing Biafra or secession or anything was criminalized. And people were actually killed for doing this. And then the elite went silent just for their own self-preservation and protection. And what is the result? We have a country today that nobody can safely live in. Nobody can safely live in Nigeria. Nigeria has received all kinds of sanctions, travel bans from major countries of the world, including the United States of America. That's where we are. Just because we try to deny history. The only way to heal history is to confront the situation that is bearing the fruit of evil among and around us. That is the point. Now, one of the key purposes of this particular this broadcast today is to invite people to come and help the events to take place. Let me give you a little background of what is coming. One, I have a projection of 10 books, getting 10 books published this year around situations in Nigeria and other issues, including nonfiction, 10 of them. Now, 2 of them are live on Amazon, already published, including Remembering Operation Python Dance. And 3 of them are in different stages. 1 of them will be live on Amazon, and 25 other publication outlets in exactly 1 week from now. Another 2 will be ready on Amazon in the next 3 weeks. So that is what is happening. On or before the end of September, we will have the close to the 10 books. But before December of 2025, the project and program is 25 books. 10 books in 2025. 10 books in 2025. That's the plan. So now you will agree with me that this is a huge project, especially if you are not a millionaire already, you do not have a lot of money already with which to get this to fly. So because of that, at the first instance, we invite you to volunteer to make the launch planned for September 25 unforgettable. We want you to volunteer your skills in tech and streaming, on social media, on hosting, on media, outreach and publicity. And we want you to sign up via a volunteer form that will be part of History in Motion. About the volunteer form, that form is on Google Doc. All those who will be able to let us receive their email addresses. As soon as we get your email address, we'll send you the volunteer form where you can show us your skills. Though we are not ready to pay for every skill because of paucity of fund, and that is the reason for the volunteering, we know that many of the projects will need to be paid for. But we want all skilled persons to first volunteer because most things will run from those who volunteer. If you give, you get. That's the law. The law is give and take. It's not take and give. But the law, as I know it, is give and take. So if you give by volunteering, you don't need to do too much for us. We just need many people doing small little things which they can have spare time to do. Apart from adding to your CV or resume of things you have executed, there's also the opportunity for huge project marketing program for these worldwide, actually, marketing program for the books I'm writing. The ones I've already written and the ones that I'm going to write complete. Most of their work is done, is just fleshing them out, updating them, especially for those of them that I started long ago. So let's get ready to volunteer. And as we invite you to join the movement, the main book launch, it will be online and global. That will be September 25, 2025. The main front book for launch at that time is Remembering Operation Python Dance, but the several other books, one of them is actually titled Surviving the Storm, a security intelligence officer's guide to navigating Nigeria's looming crisis. So Surviving the Storm is the book that will go live on Amazon next week. So we will, and this is going to be live for the purpose of truth, for the purpose of memory, for justice. Because justice is served if we can remember. Truth is served if we can remember. Even our security is served if we can remember. And so we need to be aware of all of that. Okay, and we would like you to indicate your intent to volunteer by emailing fmeribe@gmail.com or leave me a message on LinkedIn. And any other way you can get hold of me, send me your intent to volunteer, and then at that point, we will reach back to you. Two things you will receive from us after you volunteer will be the plan for the launch in September, and then the ebook copy of Remembering Operation Python Dance emailed to you free for your read, for your use. That's well, please, we invite you to join the movement. Join the movement. Those who volunteer for the pre-launch and the launch support will have the first shot at the digital marketing project for these and 9 other books in the series that will be formally launched on September 25. So we are planning out a digital marketing project for this, and we invite those who volunteer to be able to be the first ones to take a shot on the paid version of the work that you do during that time. All right, in closing, I would like to thank you all for being able to be here today or to view this from YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn in future. Today, you're not just here for mere being at a program, but you are here for the memory of what should never be forgotten. We should remember the Sadaunan Sokoto is a good proponent of remembering. We need to remember what happened. Okay, to forget, remember, is to kill twice. To remember is to fight for the living with the voice of the dead. So remembering Operation Python Dance 2 is more than a book. It is a living voice of those who are silenced. A bridge between what happened and what must never happen again. It is a way not to kill twice. As we move forward toward the launch of this book on September 25, I invite you to help turn this book into a movement. That's what we desire. Help turn this book into a movement, and it will change the trajectory of your life for good and for the life of your posterity. Okay, thank you so very much. We remember not to hate, but to heal. So the purpose of remembering is so that we can heal, because it's not, you don't remember just to hate those who oppressed you or the oppressor. That is not the main point. The main point for remembering is for your own healing. So we need to remember so we can heal. It is not to divide, but it is to awaken. Let the dead speak, but I say let the living act by becoming part of this program, becoming part of this project, and getting this remembering effort updated so that everyone will be able to make a contribution to put their mind and heart on what is important for each and every one of us. Thank you for being here. And if you have questions, and comments, we want you to leave them on the chat, and we will move forward from there. Remember, we're expecting your email address so we can send you the volunteer form, and then we'll move forward from that. Thank you so very much for being here today. This is highly appreciated. Thank you.